Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth that once you realize it, changes everything. It's a simple truth, but one that holds the key to unlocking a life of abundance, peace and creation. That truth is this: your words are the architects of your reality. Your words are more than just sounds or symbols. They are the very building blocks of the world you experience. Every word you speak, whether in conversation to yourself or in prayer, carries immense creative power. The idea that your word creates your reality is not simply a metaphor. It is a fundamental truth about how the universe operates. When you truly understand this, you will begin to realize that the life you are living is a direct reflection of the words you have spoken, consciously or unconsciously. The moment you speak, you release a vibration into the universe, one that aligns with your internal state. Words are not mere noise, they are frequencies, energy that travels through the air and impacts the world around you. What you speak aligns with your beliefs, your emotions, and your subconscious programming. Every statement you make reinforces the circumstances you find yourself in, whether you realize it or not. When you say, "I am not good enough," or "I will never succeed," you are planting seeds of limitation and failure. Those words then find their way into your reality, creating circumstances that reflect that belief. On the other hand, when you speak words of affirmation, belief, and positivity, you begin to create a reality that mirrors those words. When you say, "I am worthy," or "I am successful," you are sowing seeds of empowerment. The universe, which is a mirror of your inner world, begins to reflect these positive affirmations back to you in the form of opportunities, events, and relationships that align with your beliefs. Your words shape your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions shape your actions. This is the creative process, and it all begins with the words you speak. This principle is not limited to words spoken out loud. The words you speak internally have just as much power. What you tell yourself in the quiet of your own mind is just as influential in shaping your life. If you spend your days telling yourself that things are hard, that you can't do it, or that life is unfair, you are reinforcing a mindset of struggle and limitation. If, however, you shift those internal dialogues to ones of gratitude, possibility, and strength, your life will begin to reflect those beliefs. It's essential to recognize that the words you speak do not just shape your immediate environment, but influence the trajectory of your life. The language you use reflects your self-image, your level of self-worth, and your understanding of what is possible for you. If you constantly speak of lack, scarcity, or misfortune, you are solidifying the belief that those things are a permanent part of your life. However, when you speak of abundance, gratitude, and opportunity, you open the door to endless possibilities. When you understand this principle, it becomes clear that one of the most powerful actions you can take is to guard your words. Speak with intention, speak with awareness. Do not let your words slip carelessly out of your mouth, because each one is an imprint on your future. This is why silence becomes so important. There is a time to speak and a time to remain silent. When you speak without thought, you create disharmony. But when you speak with intention, your words become a tool for creation, sculpting the life you desire. You may be wondering, if my words are so powerful, why haven't I seen my desires come to life? The answer lies in the consistency and belief behind your words. You cannot simply repeat a positive affirmation once and expect immediate results. Your words must come from a place of deep belief and inner conviction. It's not just about the words you say, it's about the energy and emotion you attach to them. When your words align with your deepest truths and are spoken with unwavering faith, that's when the universe responds. As you begin to recognize the power of your words, start to speak with purpose. When you speak, do so with the understanding that you are creating your world. Choose words that affirm your worth, that empower your desires, and that reflect the life you want to live. Speak only those things that align with your highest vision for yourself. Know that with every word you speak, you are shaping the reality that unfolds before you. The power of imagination lies in its ability to transcend the limitations of your current reality. When you imagine, you are stepping outside of the constraints of the physical world and tapping into the realm of infinite possibility. The more vividly and consistently you can imagine a desired outcome, the more it impresses your subconscious mind, which in turn begins to shape your external world in alignment with that vision. It's important to understand that imagination is not limited to mere fantasy or wishful thinking. It is a process of aligning your inner world with your outer desires, knowing that what you hold in your mind will eventually materialize in your life. One of the keys to harnessing the power of imagination is to create a clear and compelling vision of what you want. Without a defined image, you are left at the mercy of random thoughts and fleeting desires. But once you know exactly what you want, you can focus your imagination on that outcome with unwavering clarity. This is where many people go wrong. They fail to give their imagination a specific target, leaving their mind to wander aimlessly. The clearer and more focused your imagination becomes, the more easily it can guide your subconscious toward its manifestation. Visualization techniques, affirmations, and mental rehearsals are all tools that help you train your mind to see and feel your desired reality as if it is already here. It's not enough to simply imagine. You must also believe in the power of your imagination. Doubt and disbelief are the greatest enemies of creative imagination. The more you believe that your imagination has the power to shape your world, the stronger it becomes. When you hold the belief that your imagined reality is as real and tangible as the world you see around you, the universe has no choice but to bring it into existence. The key is to align your imagination with your belief system, knowing that what you imagine is not a far-off dream, but a reality waiting to unfold. The act of imagining requires you to go beyond the limitations of the physical senses. It asks you to trust in the unseen and the unknown, to know that the power to create lies within you. Imagination allows you to bypass the limitations of time and space, enabling you to see, feel, and experience the future as if it has already occurred. This is why it is so important to create a mental image of success, of wealth, of health, or whatever it is you desire. By constantly focusing your mind on this vision and holding it with strong emotion and belief, you begin to align your actions and decisions with that vision, and in time, the world reflects it. Imagination is not a passive process, it is an active, creative force. When you engage your imagination in this way, you are sending a clear message to the universe, to your subconscious mind, and to every cell in your body that you are ready to manifest your desires. The more you practice this, the more powerful your imagination becomes, and the more quickly your dreams become your reality. Trust in the power of imagination, for it is the key to unlocking the life you have always desired. It is not just a tool for creating dreams, it is the very means by which those dreams come to life. Seeking validation from others is a natural human tendency, but it is also one of the most limiting behaviors you can engage in. When you rely on the approval or recognition of others to feel worthy or successful, you give away your power. You place your sense of self-worth in the hands of people who may not understand you or who may be unaware of the true value you bring to the world. Seeking external validation only serves to reinforce feelings of insecurity and dependency. It is only by learning to validate yourself that you can unlock your true potential and live a life of true freedom. The truth is that you do not need anyone's approval to be worthy. You are already enough as you are. Your worth is inherent, and it is not determined by the opinions, judgments, or acknowledgments of others. When you place your value on external validation, you are setting yourself up for a never-ending cycle of disappointment and frustration. People will always have different opinions, and no matter how much you seek their approval, there will always be someone who disagrees or fails to acknowledge your efforts. This constant cycle of seeking external validation creates an emotional roller coaster, where your self-esteem rises and falls based on the actions and words of others. When you stop seeking validation, you begin to free yourself from the need for external approval. You realize that your happiness and fulfillment do not depend on whether others affirm your worth. Instead, your confidence and peace come from within. It is through self-validation that you truly find your power. When you validate yourself, you are affirming your own value, regardless of the opinions of others. This shift in mindset is liberating. as it allows you to move through life with a sense of inner peace and confidence, unshaken by external judgments or praise. Self-validation is a process of accepting yourself fully, your strengths, your flaws, your successes, and your failures. It requires that you be honest with yourself about who you are and what you bring to the world. You no longer need to seek permission to be yourself or to follow your dreams. You know deep within that you are worthy of all that you desire simply because you exist. This understanding shifts your focus from seeking approval to creating the life you want, regardless of whether others understand or support you. One of the key steps in stopping the habit of seeking validation is to stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a thief of joy and a powerful force that feeds the need for external approval. When you compare yourself to others, you automatically place yourself in a position where you feel inferior or inadequate. You begin to measure your worth against someone else's achievements or appearance, which is an unfair and inaccurate measure of who you are. Instead, focus on your own journey and celebrate your unique path. Understand that everyone has their own timeline, and your worth is not tied to how you measure up against others. Let go of the need for others to agree with your choices, your beliefs, or your way of doing things. Trust in your own judgment and intuition. You know what is best for you, and when you stop seeking validation, you can make decisions that are aligned with your true self. You can follow your passions, express your creativity, and build a life that reflects your deepest desires without the fear of judgment or rejection. The journey to stop seeking validation is not easy, and it requires a commitment to your own growth and self-awareness. It requires that you become comfortable with being alone, not in a sense of isolation, but in a sense of self-sufficiency. When you validate yourself, you no longer need to seek approval from others to feel complete. You are whole just as you are. As you begin to stop seeking validation from others, you will experience a profound sense of freedom. You will find that you are more authentic, more confident, and more aligned with your true self. Your happiness will no longer be dependent on the opinions of others, and you will feel empowered to create a life that is true to who you are. The power to shape your reality lies within you, and once you stop seeking validation, you will unlock the full potential of your being. The subconscious mind is an incredibly powerful force within you, working tirelessly behind the scenes to shape your reality. It is responsible for everything from the habits you hold to the beliefs you live by, and even the outcomes you experience. Once you learn to harness the power of your subconscious, you can let it do the heavy lifting for you, making your desires a reality with less conscious effort and strain. The key to unlocking this potential is understanding that the subconscious works best when you stop trying to control every detail with your conscious mind and instead allow it to operate naturally, trusting it to create the conditions for your success. The subconscious mind is like a sponge, absorbing every experience, thought, emotion, and belief you encounter throughout your life. Unlike the conscious mind, which is limited in its processing ability and focuses on the present moment, the subconscious is vast and timeless, storing information beyond your immediate awareness. This part of the mind is always working, processing the information you provide, and directing your actions accordingly. Your subconscious mind is not concerned with the how of things, it simply reacts to the thoughts and beliefs you plant in it. When you understand this, you can stop struggling and start allowing your subconscious to bring forth the results you desire. One of the most important steps to letting the subconscious do the work is to shift your focus from conscious effort to belief. When you consciously desire something, you often put a lot of effort into trying to make it happen. You focus on the how, pushing and striving toward an outcome. However, this approach often leads to frustration and burnout because the subconscious mind operates outside of the realm of logic and linear thinking. It works through energy, images, and emotions. The more you focus on the feeling of already having what you desire, the more you align with the subconscious mind's way of working. The key is to create a vivid mental image of your desired outcome, something that excites you and fills you with emotion. By mentally rehearsing the experience as though it has already occurred, you are impressing your subconscious mind with the belief that it is true. The subconscious cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you imagine success, wealth, love, or any other desired outcome with enough emotional intensity, your subconscious begins to believe it is true. Over time, it begins to direct your thoughts, actions, and behaviors in ways that align with that belief, all without the conscious mind having to exert effort. Trusting the subconscious mind means surrendering the how and letting go of the need to control every step. When you stop overthinking and striving, you allow space for the subconscious to operate in its own way. It can work behind the scenes, orchestrating the events and opportunities needed for your desires to manifest. This requires faith and patience, as the subconscious operates on its own timeline. It doesn't need your constant input or your efforts to make things happen. Once you set the intention and align your thoughts and feelings with your desires, the subconscious takes over and does the rest. The beauty of letting the subconscious do the work is that it doesn't require conscious effort. You don't have to push or force anything into existence. Instead, you become a magnet for your desires. As your subconscious begins to align with your inner vision, you will notice opportunities, insights, and inspirations arising in your life. Your actions will feel effortless, and you will find that things begin to unfold in a way that feels natural and harmonious. To make this process even more effective, it's important to be consistent with the thoughts and beliefs you impress upon the subconscious mind. This is where repetition comes into play. When you consistently visualize your desired outcome, affirm your worth, and maintain a positive mental attitude, you reinforce these beliefs within the subconscious. Repetition is key because it strengthens the connection between your conscious desires and the subconscious programming that guides your actions. Another powerful tool for letting the subconscious do the work is affirmation. Affirmations are positive, present tense statements that reinforce your desired reality. Repeating these affirmations daily, especially in a relaxed and focused state, allows the subconscious mind to absorb them deeply, making them part of your mental programming. Over time, these affirmations will become the foundation of your thoughts and actions, leading to natural changes in your life without the need for intense, forced effort. The subconscious mind is your ally in creating the life you desire. When you trust it to do the work, you free yourself from the burden of overthinking and struggling. By focusing on the feeling of already having what you desire, and consistently impressing your subconscious with positive, empowering beliefs, you allow it to work in harmony with the laws of the universe, bringing your desires into physical form effortlessly. Surrendering to this process is not about giving up on your goals. It is about trusting that the subconscious mind is the most powerful tool you have to manifest your desires with grace and ease. Words are powerful, and every word you speak is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These words, once spoken, begin to grow and shape your reality. Whether they are spoken to yourself or others, they carry energy and meaning that can influence your thoughts, actions, and the world around you. Just as a seed grows into a plant, your words can grow into experiences, relationships, and circumstances. This is why it is essential to protect the words you use, as they have the potential to either nurture or harm the life you are creating. Your words are a reflection of your thoughts and beliefs. When you speak, you reveal not only what you think, but also what you believe about yourself and the world. If you constantly speak negatively, you are reinforcing negative beliefs in your subconscious mind, which over time can manifest as negative experiences in your life. On the other hand, when you speak with intention, purpose, and positivity, you plant seeds of possibility, abundance, and growth. Every word you utter is a thought in motion, moving toward manifestation. It is crucial, then, to choose your words carefully and deliberately. The subconscious mind cannot differentiate between positive or negative words, it simply absorbs them. Therefore, when you speak negatively about yourself or others, the subconscious mind takes these words as truth and begins to align your reality with them. For example, if you constantly say, "I am not good enough," or "I will never succeed," these words begin to sink into your subconscious and reinforce feelings of inadequacy or failure. These thoughts then shape your actions, making it harder to take the steps necessary to achieve success or build confidence. In essence, your words are commanding the subconscious to create a reality that matches your beliefs. When you speak affirmations of strength, worthiness, and success, your subconscious mind starts to shift its focus. Words like "I am capable," "I am deserving of all good things," and "I am constantly growing and evolving" plant seeds of empowerment. These affirmations can transform your mindset, leading to actions that are in alignment with the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. The more consistently you use these words, the more they become a part of your identity and your reality. It is important to remember that words are not only about what you say to yourself, but also how you communicate with others. The language you use when speaking to others has just as much power. If you constantly speak with judgment, criticism, or negativity, you not only harm your relationships, but also reinforce a belief in scarcity, division, or limitation. However, when you choose words that are uplifting, kind, and empowering, you foster positive connections and open doors to growth, cooperation, and opportunity. Protecting your words means being mindful of how you speak, both to yourself and to others. It involves taking responsibility for the language you use and ensuring that it reflects the life you want to create. In a world where negativity can easily take hold, it is crucial to be vigilant in choosing words that align with your highest desires. This requires conscious awareness of what you say and a commitment to speaking with purpose and intention. One of the most effective ways to protect your words is by practicing mindfulness. Before you speak, pause and reflect on the impact your words may have. Are they empowering? Are they in alignment with the vision you have for your life? If not, choose different words. By becoming more conscious of your language, you can prevent harmful seeds from being planted in your subconscious and redirect your energy toward the creation of the life you desire. Another powerful way to protect your words is through the practice of gratitude. When you speak from a place of gratitude, you create a positive atmosphere around you. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, and the words that flow from a heart of gratitude are uplifting and expansive. You are not only planting seeds of positivity for yourself, but also for those around you, creating a ripple effect of good energy and possibility. Words also have the power to create and strengthen your inner beliefs. If you want to change your reality, start by changing the language you use. Speak to yourself with love, respect, and compassion. Affirm your worth and your potential. By protecting your words, you are protecting the very foundation upon which your reality is built. In the same way that a gardener tends to their plants by carefully nurturing them and keeping them free from weeds, you must tend to the words you speak, ensuring they are aligned with your highest aspirations. Remember, every word you speak is a seed that will grow and take root in your life. So choose your words wisely, for they are the building blocks of the life you are creating. Silence holds a profound power that most people overlook. In a world that is constantly buzzing with noise, distractions, and the pressure to speak, silence can seem uncomfortable or even unnatural. Yet within this silence lies the gateway to true power over your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. It is in moments of quiet reflection that you can access the deepest wisdom within you, connect with your true self, and align with the higher forces at work in the universe. Embracing silence is not about avoiding communication or retreating from the world. It is about recognizing the power that resides in stillness and learning to use it to create the life you desire. When you choose silence, you give yourself the space to listen to your inner voice, to your intuition, and to the subtle messages of the universe. In the silence, the noise of the external world fades away, allowing you to tune into the deeper currents of your being. You can hear the whispers of your intuition, guiding you in the right direction, helping you make decisions that align with your highest good. The more you cultivate silence in your life, the clearer these messages become, and the more powerful your decisions and actions will be. Silence also allows you to step away from the constant need for validation or approval from others. In a society where external opinions often shape our sense of self-worth, silence is a reminder that your power comes from within. When you stop speaking for the sake of being heard or seeking approval, you reclaim your authority and self-confidence. You no longer need to seek validation outside of yourself, because you understand that true power is rooted in your own sense of inner knowing. This self-assurance allows you to move through life with clarity and purpose, unaffected by the distractions or judgments of others. Another aspect of silence is its ability to calm the mind. The mind, when left unchecked, can become a whirlwind of thoughts, worries, and fears. These mental distractions can cloud your judgment, limit your potential, and create unnecessary stress. But in silence, the mind can quiet itself, creating a space of peace and clarity. When you are able to sit in silence, you create an environment in which your thoughts can settle, allowing you to access the wisdom that resides beyond the surface level of your consciousness. In this space of stillness, you can make decisions with a sense of calm, clarity, and confidence. The power of silence extends beyond the mental and emotional realms. It also has the ability to influence the physical world around you. When you speak with intention and choose your words carefully, they carry a force that ripples through your reality. But when you embrace silence, you allow the energy of the universe to align with your desires without interference. Silence does not mean passivity, it is a powerful form of receptivity. In silence, you are allowing space for your manifestations to come into being, trusting that the universe is already working on your behalf. This trust in the process gives you the ability to let go of control and surrender to the flow of life, knowing that everything you need will come to you in perfect timing. Furthermore, silence allows you to cultivate deep inner peace. In the quiet moments, you can release the tension of the day, let go of past hurts, and free yourself from the anxieties of the future. By sitting in silence, you create a sanctuary for your soul, a space where you can reconnect with your inner sense of peace and calm. This peace becomes your foundation, and no matter what external circumstances arise, you remain centered and grounded. From this place of peace, you can take inspired action and navigate the challenges of life with grace and resilience. Silence is also an invitation to connect with something greater than yourself. In stillness, you can tap into the infinite wisdom of the universe, allowing you to see the bigger picture and gain perspective on your life. It is in these quiet moments that you realize you are not separate from the world around you. You are connected to it in a profound way. By aligning with this universal energy, you open yourself to new possibilities and experiences that you may not have seen before. Silence then becomes a bridge to higher consciousness, offering a direct connection to the divine and the forces that guide your journey. True power is not about force or aggression, it is about stillness, presence, and alignment. When you embrace silence, you stop trying to control every situation, and instead, you trust in the power of the universe and your ability to navigate life with wisdom and grace. Silence is the gateway to true power, because it is in these moments of quiet that you reconnect with your inner strength, tap into the wisdom of the universe, and align with your highest purpose. By embracing silence, you invite peace, clarity, and empowerment into your life, and you unlock the infinite potential that resides within you. In conclusion, silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a powerful tool that can unlock your true potential. By embracing silence, you create space for inner wisdom, clarity, and peace. It is through moments of stillness that you reconnect with your deeper self, gain the confidence to trust your intuition, and align with the flow of the universe. Silence empowers you to step away from external validation and mental clutter, allowing you to live with purpose, power, and authenticity. Remember, the quiet moments in your life are not moments of weakness, but opportunities for growth and transformation. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on the power of silence and how it can shape your life. May you continue to find peace in stillness and harness the transformative power it offers. Ladies and gentlemen, power is not something you seek, it is something you awaken. It is already within you, waiting for recognition and expression. To become more powerful, you must shift your focus inward, to the seat of your true authority. Here are 8 ways to unlock the limitless potential that resides in you. The power of assumption is the key to shaping your reality, a truth that many overlook in their pursuit of change. At the heart of this principle lies a profound understanding your external world is but a reflection of your internal state. To alter what you experience outwardly, you must first transform what you assume to be true about yourself and the world around you. Assumptions are not merely idle thoughts, they are the foundation upon which your reality is built. When you grasp this truth, you unlock the ability to consciously design your life. To assume something is to accept it as true, even without visible evidence. It is to act, think, and feel as though a particular reality already exists. This is not wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is the deliberate embodiment of the desired state of being. The creative power of assumption works tirelessly whether you are aware of it or not. Your beliefs about who you are and what you deserve shape your actions, and those actions, in turn, shape the outcomes you experience. This cycle reinforces itself, creating either a life of fulfillment or one of frustration, depending on the assumptions you hold. Consider this: everything you experience begins as an assumption in your mind. When you assume you are capable, doors seem to open where there were none. Opportunities align, people respond positively, and challenges appear surmountable. On the other hand, when you assume lack or failure, the world seems to mirror that belief with obstacles and disappointments. The world does not create your assumptions create your world. This is the profound truth that empowers you to take control of your life. The key to wielding the power of assumption is to live in the end. This means adopting the mindset and emotions of someone who already possesses the life they desire. It is not enough to simply wish for success, love, or abundance. You must feel, think, and act as though these things are already yours. When you assume the reality of your desires, your mind and body align with that vision, creating a vibrational match that draws your desires into manifestation. This process bypasses doubt and limitation, for the mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. To the subconscious, the assumption is the truth, and it will work tirelessly to bring that truth into physical form. Yet many resist this idea because it challenges conventional wisdom. Society often teaches that hard work and effort are the sole keys to success. While action has its place, it is ineffective if not fueled by the right assumptions. Without belief in your own power, effort becomes aimless. Consider the person who works tirelessly but remains stuck in a cycle of lack. They may strive externally, but their internal assumption of unworthiness sabotages their efforts. Contrast this with someone who carries an unshakable belief in their success. Even when they face setbacks, their assumption of eventual triumph keeps them moving forward until their reality matches their inner vision. The power of assumption also requires discipline. It is easy to fall back into old patterns of doubt and fear, especially when external circumstances seem unchanged. But this is where faith comes into play. You must persist in your assumption, even when there is no evidence to support it. This persistence is not about forcing outcomes, but about maintaining a steady inner conviction. When you hold fast to your assumption, reality will bend to accommodate your belief. The most empowering aspect of assumption is that it reminds you of your innate creative power. You are not at the mercy of chance or circumstance. You are the architect of your experience, capable of designing a life that reflects your deepest desires. By consciously choosing your assumptions, you take responsibility for your reality, stepping into the role of creator rather than victim. Your inner dialogue is the silent voice that accompanies you every moment of your life. It is the constant stream of thoughts that shapes your perception of yourself, your world, and your place within it. This dialogue is more powerful than most realize. It serves as the architect of your reality, silently constructing the circumstances and experiences that define your life. When you learn to control your inner dialogue, you unlock a profound ability to shape your destiny. At its core, your inner dialogue is a reflection of your beliefs. It repeats the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you are capable of achieving. If those stories are filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, your life will mirror those qualities. On the other hand, if your inner dialogue is one of confidence, hope, and empowerment, your external world will align with those affirmations. This connection between thought and reality is not accidental, It is a fundamental law of existence. To control your inner dialogue, the first step is awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise throughout your day. Notice the patterns and themes that dominate your mind. Are they encouraging and uplifting, or do they lean toward criticism and negativity? This awareness is not about judgment, it is about observation. Once you recognize the nature of your inner dialogue, you can begin to shift it in a deliberate direction. The language you use within your mind carries immense power. Words are not just passive symbols, they are active forces that influence your emotions, actions, and outcomes. Negative inner dialogue such as "I'm not good enough" or "this is too hard" creates feelings of defeat and discouragement. These feelings, in turn, lead to actions or inaction that reinforce the very beliefs that generated them. This cycle can feel inescapable, but it can be broken through conscious effort. Replacing negative inner dialogue with positive affirmations is a powerful way to shift your mental state. When a thought arises that diminishes your confidence or limits your potential, counter it with an affirmation that aligns with your desired reality. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never succeed," replace it with, "I am capable of achieving my goals." This practice is not about denying your current challenges, but about redirecting your focus toward possibilities and solutions. Over time, these positive affirmations reshape your subconscious mind, creating a fertile ground for growth and success. The tone of your inner dialogue is just as important as the content. Even seemingly neutral thoughts can carry an undertone of self-criticism or doubt if delivered harshly. Imagine the difference between telling yourself, "I made a mistake" versus "I'm such a failure." The former acknowledges the situation without attacking your self-worth, while the latter reinforces a damaging belief. Speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer a close friend. This compassionate inner dialogue fosters resilience and self-belief, enabling you to navigate challenges with grace. Visualization is another tool that can help you take control of your inner dialogue. Your mind responds vividly to images, and by pairing these images with positive self-talk, you can create a powerful synergy. Picture yourself succeeding, thriving, and becoming the person you aspire to be. As you hold this vision, affirm it with words that reinforce the reality you are imagining. This combination of thought and visualization imprints a new narrative onto your subconscious mind, guiding your actions and experiences toward your goals. It is important to remember that controlling your inner dialogue is not a one-time effort but an ongoing practice. The mind, like a garden, requires regular tending. Negative thoughts may still arise, especially during difficult times, but they do not have to define you. When they appear, acknowledge them without judgment and consciously choose a different perspective. This practice of gentle redirection builds mental strength and flexibility, allowing you to remain in control, even when faced with adversity. Your inner dialogue also has a profound effect on your relationships. The way you speak to yourself influences how you interact with others. If your inner dialogue is filled with self-doubt and criticism, it can lead to insecurity and defensiveness in your relationships. Conversely, when you nurture a positive and empowering inner dialogue, you approach others with confidence and authenticity. This shift not only enhances your personal well-being, but also creates deeper and more meaningful connections. Controlling your inner dialogue is about reclaiming your power. It is about recognizing that you are not a passive observer of your thoughts, but an active creator of them. By choosing thoughts that align with your highest aspirations, you take responsibility for your reality. You become the author of your story, shaping each chapter with intention and purpose. In the quiet moments when your inner voice speaks, you have a choice. Will you allow it to echo the doubts and fears of the past, or will you guide it to reflect the strength and potential of the present? The decision is yours, and with it comes the power to transform your life. Begin today to speak to yourself as the person you wish to become, and watch as your inner dialogue paves the way for a future that reflects your deepest desires. Strength is not merely a physical attribute, it is a state of being that radiates from within, encompassing your mind, emotions, and spirit. To embody the feeling of strength is to claim the power that lies dormant in your soul and to allow it to manifest in every area of your life. This strength is not dependent on circumstances or external validation. It is a recognition of your inherent ability to navigate life's challenges with resilience, confidence, and unwavering resolve. It is a choice to stand firm in the face of adversity, knowing that the power to overcome lies within you. The journey to embodying strength begins with the understanding that it is not something you acquire, it is something you uncover. Strength is already a part of who you are. It has been with you in every moment of triumph and struggle, silently guiding you forward. To embody it, you must first shift your perspective from one of lack to one of abundance. You are not weak, unworthy, or powerless. You are a being of infinite potential, capable of achieving greatness when you align with the truth of your existence. This alignment begins with belief. You must believe in your own strength, even if evidence to the contrary seems overwhelming. This belief is not a denial of your fears or doubts, but a conscious decision to rise above them. Fear and doubt are natural, they are part of the human experience. But they do not define you. What defines you is how you respond to them. When you choose to embody strength, you are choosing to trust in your ability to face any situation and emerge stronger for it. Feeling strong starts in the mind. Your thoughts shape your reality, and the narrative you tell yourself about who you are has the power to uplift or diminish you. If you constantly focus on your perceived weaknesses or failures, you will feel small and incapable. But when you consciously shift your focus to your achievements, your resilience, and the qualities that make you unique, you begin to feel the stirrings of strength within you. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend, offering encouragement and affirmation. Remind yourself of the times you have faced difficulty and persevered. Each of those moments is a testament to your strength, proof that you have what it takes to overcome. To embody the feeling of strength, you must also cultivate a sense of emotional mastery. Strength is not the absence of emotion, it is the ability to feel deeply and yet remain centered. Life will present you with experiences that challenge your emotional equilibrium, but you are not a prisoner to those emotions. Instead, you can acknowledge them, learn from them, and release them. This process requires self-awareness and compassion. It means allowing yourself to feel pain, anger, or sadness without judgment, but choosing not to dwell in those states. Strength is found in the ability to move through emotions rather than be consumed by them. Your body, too, is a vessel for strength. How you carry yourself physically can profoundly influence how you feel internally. Stand tall, shoulders back, and chin up. These simple adjustments to your posture signal confidence and capability to both your mind and the world around you. The connection between your physicality and your emotions is powerful. When you move through the world as though you are strong, you begin to feel that strength resonate within you. Engage in activities that make you feel physically empowered, whether it's exercise, dance, or simply walking with purpose. These actions reinforce the belief that strength is an integral part of who you are. Another key to embodying strength is embracing the power of choice. Life is full of situations beyond your control, but you always have the power to choose how you respond. This choice is where your strength resides. You can choose to see setbacks as opportunities for growth, to view challenges as stepping stones toward greater self-discovery. You can choose to let go of what no longer serves you and to pursue what aligns with your highest vision of yourself. Each choice, no matter how small, is an act of reclaiming your power and reinforcing your inner strength. Strength is also deeply connected to your sense of purpose. When you are clear about your goals and aligned with your values, you find the motivation to keep going even when the path is difficult. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you and let that clarity guide your actions. A sense of purpose gives you a reason to rise above obstacles, reminding you that your journey is meaningful and worthwhile. Embodying the feeling of strength requires faith, not necessarily in a higher power, though for some that can be a source of immense comfort, but in yourself and in the unfolding of life. Trust that you are capable, that you are worthy, and that you are equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Faith is the anchor that steadies you when the waves of doubt threaten to pull you under. It is the voice within that says, I may not see the way, but I know I will find it. When you embody strength, you do more than face life's challenges. You inspire others to find their own strength. Your presence becomes a beacon of resilience and courage, a living example of what is possible when you claim the power within you. Strength is not a destination, it is a way of being, a choice you make every day to show up fully, to embrace your challenges, and to walk through life with confidence and grace. It is a testament to the unyielding spirit that resides in all of us, waiting to be awakened. Embrace it, embody it, and watch as your world transforms in response. Detaching from the opinions of others is an act of profound liberation. It is the process of reclaiming your inner authority, choosing to live authentically rather than as a reflection of others' expectations or judgments. When you free yourself from the need for external validation, you step into a space of immense power and clarity, where your choices and self-worth are determined not by the fleeting perceptions of the outside world, but by the unwavering truth within. The opinions of others often serve as invisible chains, subtly influencing your decisions, beliefs, and even your sense of self. These opinions, whether spoken or implied, can create an illusion of authority over your life. They can lead you to doubt your instincts, alter your desires, and conform to a version of yourself that aligns more with societal approval than personal authenticity. Yet, the truth is that no one else has the power to define you. Their opinions are shaped by their own experiences, biases, and insecurities. They are reflections of their world, not yours. Detaching from these opinions begins with self-awareness. You must first recognize the ways in which the judgments of others influence you. Perhaps you hesitate to pursue a passion because you fear criticism, or you suppress aspects of your personality to fit in with a certain group. These compromises may seem small, but over time they accumulate, leading to a life that feels disconnected from your true self. By identifying these patterns, you shine a light on the ways in which you have given away your power, allowing you to reclaim it. At the heart of this detachment is the realization that approval and criticism are two sides of the same coin. When you seek validation from others, you also become vulnerable to their disapproval. This dependency creates a fragile sense of self, one that rises and falls with the ever-changing tides of opinion. True freedom lies in anchoring your self-worth in something unshakable: your own values, aspirations, and understanding of who you are. When you trust yourself, the opinions of others lose their power to sway you. Detaching from opinions does not mean ignoring feedback or isolating yourself from meaningful connections. It means discerning which voices to consider and which to let go. Constructive feedback, offered with kindness and rooted in genuine care, can help you grow. But unsolicited criticism or opinions laced with negativity often reveal more about the speaker than about you. Learning to distinguish between these types of input allows you to navigate relationships with grace while maintaining your sense of self. The process of detachment also requires courage. It takes bravery to step away from the familiar comfort of approval and to face the discomfort of being misunderstood or judged. Yet, this courage is what leads to true authenticity. When you prioritize your own values over the expectations of others, you may encounter resistance, but you will also discover the profound joy of living a life that feels true to you. This authenticity is not about rebellion for its own sake, it is about alignment with your highest self. An essential part of this journey is embracing the idea that not everyone will understand or agree with you, and that is okay. The world is vast and diverse, filled with countless perspectives and beliefs. Expecting universal approval is not only unrealistic but also unnecessary. The people who truly matter, those who see and appreciate you for who you are, will remain by your side, regardless of whether your choices align with their expectations. These are the relationships that nurture your growth and support your freedom. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating detachment. By staying present in the moment, you can observe the opinions of others without becoming entangled in them. When someone offers a judgment or criticism, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, does this opinion align with my values? Does it offer insight or simply reflect their perspective? This practice of reflection allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, preserving your inner peace. Another aspect of detachment is releasing the need to explain or justify your choices. When you feel secure in your decisions, you no longer seek approval to validate them. This self-assuredness is not arrogance, but a quiet confidence born of clarity and conviction. It is the understanding that your life is yours to live, shaped by your own journey and not by the expectations of others. The more you embrace this truth, the less you feel the need to seek permission or validation. Detaching from opinions also creates space for deeper self-discovery. When you are no longer preoccupied with meeting others' expectations, you can turn your focus inward. What do you truly desire? What brings you joy? What aligns with your values and vision for your life? These questions guide you toward a life that feels rich and meaningful, one that reflects your unique essence rather than a projection of others' ideals. In this space of self-discovery, you also find resilience. Detachment does not make you immune to criticism or unaffected by others' opinions, but it gives you the strength to navigate them without losing yourself. You become like a tree rooted deeply in the earth, bending with the wind of others' words, but never uprooted by them. This resilience is a testament to your growth and an affirmation of your inner strength. Detaching from the opinions of others is an act of love for yourself and for the authenticity that defines you. It is a declaration that your worth is not up for debate, that your dreams are not negotiable, and that your life is yours to live. As you release the weight of others' judgments, you will find that you walk taller, speak clearer, and move through the world with a sense of freedom and peace that is truly transformative. To act with intention is to move through life with purpose and clarity, aligning your actions with your deepest values and desires. It is a practice of mindfulness and self-awareness that transforms every choice into a meaningful step toward your highest vision of yourself. Acting with intention is not about perfection or rigidity, it is about living deliberately, ensuring that what you do and how you do it are in harmony with the life you wish to create. In a world that often moves at a relentless pace, it is easy to fall into the trap of acting out of habit or reaction. Days can pass in a blur of routine, where decisions are made on autopilot, influenced more by external circumstances than by internal resolve. Yet when you act without intention, you lose the opportunity to fully engage with the present moment and to steer your life in a direction that aligns with your goals. Acting with intention begins with a conscious decision to pause, reflect, and choose deliberately rather than react impulsively. The foundation of intentional action lies in clarity. Before you can act with purpose, you must know what you want and why you want it. This clarity comes from self-reflection, an honest examination of your values, goals, and priorities. What truly matters to you? What kind of life do you want to lead? What impact do you wish to have on the world around you? These questions are not always easy to answer, but they are essential. The more clarity you gain, the more your actions will naturally align with your intentions. Acting with intention also requires presence. To be intentional, you must be fully aware of the moment you are in. Presence allows you to focus on what you are doing, why you are doing it, and how it contributes to your larger purpose. When you are present, you become more attuned to the choices before you and the potential consequences of those choices. This awareness empowers you to act in ways that reflect your true self rather than being swayed by distractions or the expectations of others. Intentionality transforms even the smallest actions into meaningful expressions of your values. Consider something as simple as a conversation with a loved one. When you act with intention, you approach the conversation with mindfulness and care, listening deeply and speaking thoughtfully. This deliberate approach fosters connection and understanding, turning an everyday interaction into a moment of genuine significance. Acting with intention in the small things sets the tone for living with purpose in the larger aspects of life. At its core, acting with intention is a declaration of self-respect. It is a statement that your time, energy, and focus are valuable and that you will not squander them on activities or commitments that do not serve your highest good. This does not mean avoiding responsibility or shirking obligations. Rather, it means approaching them with a mindset of purpose. Even tasks that seem mundane or routine can become opportunities to practice intention when you infuse them with a sense of purpose and presence. One of the most profound aspects of acting with intention is its ability to cultivate alignment. When your actions are intentional, they align with your beliefs and aspirations, creating a sense of harmony between who you are and what you do. This alignment fosters inner peace and confidence, as you no longer feel torn between conflicting desires or pulled in directions that do not resonate with your truth. Instead, your life becomes a reflection of your authentic self, and every step you take feels meaningful and deliberate. Acting with intention also requires discipline. It is easy to be swept away by distractions, procrastination, or the pull of instant gratification, but intentionality calls for focus and commitment. It asks you to prioritize what truly matters and to let go of what does not serve you. This discipline is not about rigidity or denying yourself joy. It is about making choices that support your long-term growth and fulfillment. The more you practice this discipline, the more natural it becomes to act with intention in every aspect of your life. Another key element of intentional action is adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances often shift in ways you cannot control. Acting with intention does not mean clinging to a fixed plan. It means being flexible and adjusting your actions while staying true to your values and purpose. This adaptability allows you to navigate challenges with grace, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth and learning. When you act with intention, even setbacks become part of your journey, guiding you toward greater clarity and resilience. Acting with intention also impacts your relationships. When you approach others with mindfulness and purpose, you create connections built on trust, respect, and authenticity. People are drawn to those who live with intention because it signals integrity and self-awareness. By acting with intention in your interactions, you inspire others to do the same, fostering a ripple effect of purposeful living in your community and beyond. To act with intention is to honor the life you have been given. It is a commitment to live fully and authentically, making choices that reflect your deepest values and aspirations. It is a practice of aligning your inner world with your outer actions, creating a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Acting with intention is not always easy. It requires effort, reflection, and courage, but it is profoundly rewarding. As you cultivate this practice, you will find that your actions carry more weight, your days hold more significance, and your life becomes a true expression of the person you are meant to be. Stillness is a profound and transformative state that allows you to connect with the deeper layers of your being. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and constant activity, cultivating stillness can feel both elusive and revolutionary. Yet, within stillness lies the key to clarity, peace, and an unshakable sense of purpose. It is not merely the absence of movement or noise, it is the presence of awareness, a conscious state where you can hear the whispers of your soul and align with your highest self. The practice of cultivating stillness begins with a willingness to pause. This pause is an act of defiance against the relentless pace of modern life, where productivity and busyness are often equated with success. By choosing to pause, even momentarily, you create space to step back from the chaos and tune into your inner world. In this space, you begin to recognize that much of the noise that surrounds you is not essential. It is a distraction, pulling your attention away from the things that truly matter. Stillness invites you to become an observer of your own mind. As you sit quietly without judgment or expectation, you notice the thoughts that arise. They may be fleeting or persistent, uplifting or unsettling, but in the stillness you learn to watch them without becoming entangled in them. This detachment is not about ignoring your thoughts or emotions. It is about recognizing that they are not the entirety of who you are. Beneath the stream of mental chatter lies a deeper awareness, steady, peaceful, and unchanging. Through stillness you cultivate presence. When you are still, you are fully in the moment, free from the pull of the past and the anxieties of the future. This presence allows you to see life as it truly is, rather than through the filters of regret or anticipation. You become more attuned to the beauty and simplicity of the present moment, finding joy in the small, often overlooked details of life. Whether it is the sound of the wind, the rhythm of your breath, or the light of the setting sun, Stillness helps you appreciate the here and now. Stillness is not something you achieve by force, it is something you allow. The more you try to quiet your mind or make yourself still, the more elusive it becomes. Instead, stillness arises naturally when you create the conditions for it. This might involve setting aside time each day to meditate, sit in silence, or engage in a mindful activity like walking in nature or journaling. Over time, these practices train your mind to settle, and stillness becomes a familiar and welcoming state. One of the greatest gifts of stillness is its ability to bring clarity. In the stillness, the noise of the world fades, and the answers you seek begin to surface. Conditions that once felt overwhelming become clear, not because the external situation has changed, but because your perspective has shifted. Stillness allows you to distinguish between the voice of fear and the voice of intuition, helping you to act from a place of wisdom rather than reactivity. It also fosters resilience. When you are still, you connect with an inner strength that is not dependent on external circumstances. Life's challenges, uncertainties, and setbacks no longer feel as overwhelming because you have cultivated a place of peace within yourself. This inner stillness becomes a refuge, a source of stability that you can return to whenever the world around you feels chaotic. It reminds you that while you cannot control everything that happens, you can always control how you respond. As you cultivate stillness, you may also notice a deepening of your relationships. Stillness teaches you to listen not just to the words of others, but to the emotions, intentions, and unspoken truths beneath them. This attentive listening fosters connection and understanding, strengthening your bonds with the people around you. When you approach interactions from a place of stillness, you bring a sense of calm and presence that others naturally respond to. It is not confined to moments of solitude, it can infuse your entire way of being. Even in the midst of activity, you can carry a sense of inner stillness with you. This might look like approaching a busy day with calm focus, or responding to a stressful situation with patience and composure. The stillness within you becomes a steady anchor, grounding you regardless of what is happening externally. Cultivating stillness is not about escaping the world, it is about engaging with it more fully. When you are still, you connect with the deeper truths of existence, the interconnectedness of all things, the abundance of the present moment, and the vast potential that lies within you. This connection transforms how you see yourself and the world, fostering a sense of gratitude, purpose, and awe. Stillness is a practice of coming home to yourself. In the quiet, you rediscover who you are beyond the roles you play, the labels you wear, and the expectations placed upon you. You remember that you are not defined by the rush of life or the opinions of others. Instead, you are a being of infinite potential, capable of creating and experiencing profound peace and joy. As you cultivate stillness, you step into this truth, allowing it to guide you toward a life of greater clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. To recognize your divine identity is to awaken to the profound truth of your existence. You are more than flesh and bone, more than the sum of your experiences, and more than the labels the world assigns to you. You are an expression of the infinite, a being imbued with the essence of creation itself. This realization is not merely a lofty idea or spiritual ideal, it is a transformative awakening that shifts the way you see yourself, others, and the world. It is the foundation for living a life of purpose, power, and peace. Your divine identity begins with the understanding that you are not separate from the source of all that is. Whether you call this source God, the universe, or the infinite, it is not something outside of you. It is the very essence of your being. Just as a wave is not separate from the ocean, you are not separate from the infinite creative force that permeates everything. This truth is often obscured by the illusions of the physical world, illusions of limitation, lack, and separation. Yet, beneath these illusions lies your true nature, eternal, boundless, and whole. To recognize your divine identity, you must first release the false beliefs that cloud your perception. These beliefs may have been shaped by societal conditioning, past experiences, or the opinions of others. They tell you that you are small, powerless, or unworthy. But these are not truths, they are distortions. The first step in reclaiming your divine identity is to challenge and dismantle these limiting narratives. Ask yourself, who am I beyond these stories? What is the truth of my being? The answers to these questions will lead you closer to your divine essence. Your divine identity is not something you need to earn or achieve, it is your birthright. It has always been within you, waiting to be acknowledged. Recognizing this identity is not about becoming something new, it is about remembering who you already are. This remembrance often comes in moments of stillness, when the noise of the world fades and you connect with the quiet presence within. In these moments you may feel a sense of peace, love, or expansiveness that defies explanation. That is the spark of your divine nature, reminding you of your true self. Living from your divine identity transforms how you see yourself. You begin to understand that you are not defined by your past, your circumstances, or even your achievements. These are aspects of your human experience, but they do not encompass the totality of who you are. When you recognize your divine nature, you see yourself as limitless, capable of creating and experiencing far more than you once thought possible. You no longer view challenges as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. You approach life with a sense of confidence and trust, knowing that the same creative power that shaped the stars flows through you. This recognition also transforms how you see others. When you understand your own divine nature, you begin to see that same divinity in everyone around you. You realize that all beings are interconnected, each a unique expression of the same infinite source. This awareness fosters compassion, forgiveness, and unity. It becomes harder to judge or harbor resentment because you see beyond the surface level differences and recognize the shared essence that unites all of humanity. With this shift in perspective can heal relationships, deepen connections, and create a profound sense of harmony in your interactions. Your divine identity is also the key to manifesting the life you desire. When you operate from this awareness, you align with the creative force of the universe. You no longer see yourself as a passive observer of life, but as an active participant in its unfolding. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs become the tools with which you shape your reality. By aligning these tools with the truth of your divine nature, you step into your role as a creator, bringing your visions and desires into existence with grace and ease. Recognizing your divine identity also brings a sense of purpose. You understand that your life is not random or meaningless, it is part of a greater tapestry, intricately woven with intention and love. Your unique talents, passions, and experiences are not accidental, they are the gifts you bring to the world. Living from your divine identity means embracing these gifts and using them to contribute to the collective good. This sense of purpose infuses your life with meaning, joy, and fulfillment. At times it may feel challenging to maintain this awareness, especially in a world that often emphasizes fear, division, and limitation. But recognizing your divine identity is not about perfection, it is about persistence. It is a practice of remembering, moment by moment, the truth of who you are. Even when you stumble or forget, the spark of divinity within you remains unchanged. Each day is an opportunity to reconnect with this truth, to realign with your essence, and to live from a place of love and empowerment. In recognizing your divine identity, you also come to understand the boundless potential of your life. You are not here to merely survive, you are here to thrive, to create, and to experience the fullness of existence. You are here to express the unique light that only you can bring into the world. When you live from this awareness, you become a beacon of inspiration for others, reminding them of their own divine nature. Recognizing your divine identity is the greatest act of love you can offer yourself. It is a declaration that you are enough, just as you are. It is an acknowledgement of your worthiness, your beauty, and your infinite potential. This recognition is not just a belief, it is a lived experience that transforms every aspect of your life. It is an awakening to the truth that you are and have always been divine. Ladies and gentlemen, let us turn our attention to the quiet, transformative power of the chosen woman. She is not marked by wealth, beauty, or status, but by the depth of her awareness and the alignment of her soul. The chosen woman knows that her true power lies within her. She does not need the approval of the world because she understands the sacred truth: her imagination is the creator of her reality. What she believes about herself becomes her world. When she says, "I am," she is not speaking of what she hopes to be, but of what she knows she already is. A woman who knows her power comes from within is unlike anyone else. She walks through life with a quiet confidence, aware that her strength does not depend on the opinions or validations of others. This realization sets her apart, for she understands that external circumstances are merely a reflection of her inner state. Her power is rooted in her understanding of self, a profound awareness that the source of all she seeks already resides within her. This kind of woman does not cling to titles, possessions, or the fleeting approval of society. She knows that such things are transient and cannot define her worth. Instead, her identity is grounded in her understanding of the divine within her. She recognizes that she is not separate from the creative force that governs the universe, and this realization gives her a profound sense of security. The world may shift around her, but her foundation remains unshaken. Her confidence stems not from arrogance, but from an unshakable faith in her ability to create her reality. The woman who knows her power comes from within understands the nature of her mind and its limitless potential. She sees her imagination not as a whimsical tool, but as the blueprint of her life. What she dwells upon internally will manifest externally. This awareness gives her a sense of responsibility for her thoughts and emotions. She does not allow herself to be ruled by doubt or fear, for she knows that such feelings, if indulged, will create the very circumstances she wishes to avoid. Instead, she chooses to think deliberately, focusing only on what aligns with her highest vision. Because she draws her strength from within, she is not easily swayed by external forces. She listens to her intuition and trusts her inner voice, even when it contradicts what the world around her is saying. This inner guidance acts as her compass, leading her toward choices that resonate with her truth. She does not need constant advice or reassurance from others, for she has cultivated a deep connection with herself. This ability to trust her inner knowing allows her to move through life with clarity and purpose. This woman is also resilient in the face of challenges. When adversity arises, she does not crumble or look for someone to rescue her. Instead, she turns inward, accessing the reservoir of strength that lies within her. She understands that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth, a chance to discover even more of her innate power. She does not view difficulties as punishment or misfortune, but as a natural part of the journey toward becoming her highest self. Her ability to remain centered in the face of hardship inspires those around her, though she does not act for recognition or praise. Her inner power also makes her self-sufficient. While she values relationships and enjoys the companionship of others, she does not depend on anyone to complete her. She knows that she is whole as she is, and that her happiness cannot be outsourced. This self-sufficiency allows her to give freely to others without feeling depleted. She shares her time, energy, and love from a place of abundance, not from a need for reciprocity. Her relationships thrive because they are based on mutual respect and shared growth, rather than dependency or control. The woman who knows her power comes from within also understands the importance of self-love. She treats herself with kindness and compassion, knowing that her relationship with herself sets the tone for all other relationships. She does not engage in self-criticism or doubt her worth, for she knows that such behaviors are incompatible with the truth of who she is. Instead, she affirms her value daily, nurturing her spirit with positive thoughts and actions. This self-love radiates outward, drawing people and opportunities into her life that reflect her inner state. Her power is magnetic. People are drawn to her presence not because she seeks attention, but because she embodies authenticity and grace. She does not need to prove herself or compete with others, for she knows that her journey is unique. This authenticity makes her a source of inspiration, encouraging others to look within and discover their own power. She does not diminish others to elevate herself. Instead, she uplifts those around her simply by being true to herself. Above all, the woman who knows her power comes from within is free. Free from the constraints of societal expectations, free from the need for external approval, and free from the fears that hold so many back. She moves through life with a sense of ease and flow, trusting that all she needs will come to her at the right time. Her faith in the unseen allows her to embrace uncertainty without anxiety, for she knows that her inner world will always create her outer reality. This woman is a living testament to the truth that all power is internal. She shows us that when we stop looking outside ourselves for validation, answers, or strength, we discover the infinite wellspring of potential that has been within us all along. And in doing so, she not only transforms her own life, but also inspires others to awaken to their own inner power. A woman who walks alone yet feels complete carries a presence that is both rare and profound. Her solitude is not a burden, but a sanctuary, a place where she finds clarity, strength, and unwavering peace. While many seek companionship to fill a void or distract from their inner struggles, she embraces solitude as a path to self-discovery and fulfillment. She is not afraid of being alone, for she understands that true completion does not come from others, but from within herself. Her ability to walk alone is not born out of necessity or isolation, but from choice. She values her own company and recognizes the immense power that comes from standing independently. In the quiet moments of solitude, she connects deeply with herself, nurturing her mind, body, and spirit. She does not look to others to validate her existence or provide her with a sense of purpose. Instead, she finds these things in her connection to the divine within her, a connection that reminds her she is never truly alone. This woman does not fear silence. In fact, she thrives in it. While the world around her clamors for attention, noise, and distraction, she retreats to the stillness within. It is in this quiet space that she hears the whispers of her soul, the guidance of her intuition, and the answers to questions she once sought externally. She understands that silence is not emptiness but a gateway to greater understanding. It is in these moments of solitude that she learns the most about herself, discovering her desires, her strengths, and her boundless potential. Her sense of completeness stems from her profound self-awareness. She knows who she is, what she stands for, and what she desires in life. This clarity allows her to walk alone with confidence, unshaken by the opinions or judgments of others. She does not seek to conform to societal expectations or fit into molds that do not align with her truth. Instead, she charts her own path, guided by her inner wisdom and unshakable belief in herself. This independence is not a rejection of others, but a declaration of her freedom to be herself. A woman who feels complete within herself does not fear the absence of relationships or companionship. She understands that being alone is not the same as being lonely. While she cherishes meaningful connections, she does not rely on them to feel whole. Her relationships are an extension of her wholeness, not a patchwork to cover emptiness. This allows her to love others freely, without attachment or neediness. She gives from a place of abundance rather than lack, making her connections genuine and fulfilling. Her solitude is a source of strength. In walking alone, she has learned to rely on herself, to trust her instincts, and to face challenges head-on. She knows that her resilience is not dependent on anyone else's support or approval. This self-reliance does not mean she rejects help when it is offered, but she does not depend on it. She has faced her fears, her doubts, and her insecurities in the quiet of her solitude, emerging stronger and more self-assured. Every step she takes alone reinforces her belief in her own capabilities. Walking alone also gives her the freedom to focus on her growth and dreams without distraction. She uses her solitude to cultivate her talents, pursue her passions, and build a life that aligns with her vision. She is not weighed down by the expectations of others or the need to compromise her values to fit into someone else's plan. This freedom allows her to create a life that is uniquely her own, one that reflects her deepest desires and highest aspirations. Her ability to feel complete in solitude inspires others. In a world that often equates worth with relationships, she stands as a reminder that self-love and self-awareness are the foundations of true happiness. People are drawn to her not because she seeks attention, but because her independence and authenticity radiate a quiet confidence. She shows others that it is possible to be content and fulfilled without constantly seeking external validation. This woman is also deeply connected to her spirituality. Whether she views this as a connection to the divine, the universe, or her higher self, it is this relationship that sustains her. She feels the presence of something greater guiding her, supporting her, and reminding her that she is never truly alone. This spiritual connection fills her with a sense of peace and purpose, allowing her to walk her path with grace and courage. A woman who walks alone yet feels complete embodies a profound truth that our worth and happiness are not determined by our relationships, achievements, or external circumstances, but by the love and acceptance we cultivate within ourselves. She is a living testament to the power of self-awareness, self-love, and inner strength. Her journey is not about isolation but about wholeness, a wholeness that comes from embracing who she is and trusting the path she is meant to walk. A woman who commands rather than pleads understands the profound truth about her worth, her power, and her ability to shape her reality. She knows that to beg or plead is to operate from a place of lack, but to command is to stand firmly in the knowledge that she is already worthy of all she desires. This approach is not rooted in arrogance but in certainty, a quiet confidence that stems from the awareness of her inner authority. She understands that the world does not respond to desperation but to conviction. Her command begins with her understanding of self. She sees herself not as a victim of circumstance, but as the creator of her experiences. This realization changes everything. Instead of seeking permission or validation from others, she declares her desires boldly and confidently. She does not ask the universe, society, or those around her to make room for her. She creates the space she needs and steps into it unapologetically. Her commands are not about forcing or controlling others, but about aligning with the natural flow of her inner power. When this woman speaks, she does so with intention. Every word she utters carries weight, because she understands the creative power of language. She is deliberate in her declarations, knowing that her words have the ability to shape her reality. She does not waste time with "if only" or "I wish," for these phrases suggest doubt and hesitation. Instead, she speaks in terms of "I am," and it is done affirming the truth of her desires as though they are already accomplished. This language of certainty transforms her life, drawing opportunities and experiences that match her unwavering belief. Her ability to command stems from her alignment with her inner being. She does not command from a place of ego or entitlement, but from a deep understanding of her connection to the divine. She recognizes that she is not separate from the source of creation, but an integral part of it. This connection allows her to trust that what she declares is already being brought into existence. Her faith is not in external forces, but in the power of her own belief, and this faith allows her to move through life with confidence and ease. This woman does not settle for less than what she knows she deserves. She does not lower her standards or compromise her values to appease others or avoid conflict. Instead, she sets clear boundaries and expects them to be honored. This expectation is not rooted in entitlement, but in self-respect. She knows that by commanding respect from others, she teaches them how to treat her. And if someone cannot meet her standards, she does not plead for their understanding or acceptance. She simply walks away, knowing that her worth is not determined by someone else's ability to see it. This woman's ability to command, rather than plead, also means she is not easily swayed by rejection or setbacks. She does not see a closed door as a reason to give up or question her worth. Instead, she views it as a redirection, an opportunity to align more closely with her desires. Her faith in herself and the power within her remains unshaken, even in the face of temporary obstacles. She knows that what is meant for her will come to her, not because she begs for it, but because she commands it with certainty and trust. Her presence inspires others. She does not demand attention or approval, yet people are drawn to her because of the strength and clarity she exudes. She shows others that it is possible to live with dignity and purpose without compromising oneself. Her ability to command respect, opportunities, and fulfillment is a testament to the power of self-belief and alignment with one's inner truth. This woman stands as a reminder that we are not here to plead for scraps from the table of life. We are here to command with confidence, to declare our worth, and to step boldly into the lives we are meant to lead. Her strength is not in what she demands from the world, but in the faith she has in her own power to create it. A woman who lives in the end carries an unshakable confidence in the realization of her desires. Her mind is not preoccupied with how or when things will unfold. She lives in the state of fulfillment, as if her dreams are already accomplished. This way of being is not an act of pretending or hoping. It is a deep, inner knowing. She understands that creation begins in the imagination, and that her thoughts and emotions shape the reality she experiences. Her power lies in her ability to dwell in the feeling of her desires already realized. Instead of being consumed by doubts, fears, or obstacles, she centers herself in the joy, peace, and satisfaction of having already achieved her goals. She envisions herself in the life she desires, allowing this vision to permeate her thoughts, words, and actions. To her, this is not wishful thinking, but a deliberate practice of aligning with the reality she knows is hers. This woman does not waver. When challenges arise, she does not allow them to pull her away from her inner vision. She sees setbacks not as defeats but as temporary illusions that will soon dissolve as her desired reality takes shape. Her focus is unwavering because she knows that what she consistently holds in her imagination will eventually manifest in her life. This faith is the foundation of her strength, enabling her to remain calm and composed even in the face of uncertainty. Her ability to live in the end influences every aspect of her life. In her relationships, she does not dwell on fears of rejection or inadequacy. Instead, she imagines and feels the love and connection she desires as already present. This transforms her energy, making her magnetic to the type of relationship she seeks. She does not chase or beg for affection, because in her mind she is already loved and cherished. This self-assurance creates a powerful aura that naturally attracts those who align with her vision. In her career, she does not approach her ambitions with desperation or anxiety. She does not focus on the gap between where she is and where she wants to be. Instead, she embodies the mindset of someone who has already achieved her goals. She walks, speaks, and acts as if her success is inevitable. This confidence opens doors and opportunities that others might miss, as she is attuned to the possibilities that align with her desired outcome. Living in the end requires discipline, but it is a discipline rooted in joy and trust. She makes a conscious effort to redirect her thoughts whenever they stray into doubt or negativity. She understands that dwelling on what is unwanted only serves to perpetuate it. Instead, she chooses to dwell on what brings her peace and fulfillment. This mental practice becomes second nature to her, a way of life that consistently reinforces her inner vision. This woman does not concern herself with the opinions or doubts of others. She knows that her vision is her own, and that it does not require external validation to become real. While others may question her choices or doubt her dreams, she remains steadfast in her belief. She understands that her imagination is the blueprint for her reality, and that the world will eventually conform to the picture she holds within. Her confidence is quiet but undeniable, rooted in the unshakable conviction that what she imagines is already hers. Her ability to live in the end also means she is not consumed by impatience. She does not measure time by what has not yet happened, but by the fullness of her inner experience. To her, the feeling of having already achieved her desires is as real and satisfying as the physical manifestation. This detachment from the need for immediate results allows her to remain peaceful and grateful in the present moment. She trusts that everything is unfolding perfectly, and that her desires are on their way to her. She does not permit just anything to enter her mind. She filters out the noise of the world, rejecting thoughts and ideas that do not align with her highest vision for herself. She is aware of the constant bombardment of opinions, fears, and distractions from outside sources, and she chooses to remain centered and grounded. She does not give her energy to gossip, criticism, or negativity, knowing that such things can easily take root and grow if allowed. Instead, she focuses her attention on what uplifts, empowers, and aligns with her inner truth. Her mental discipline is not born out of fear, but out of love for herself and her dreams. She values her peace and clarity too much to allow them to be compromised by fleeting doubts or external chaos. When negative thoughts arise, and they inevitably do, she does not fight or suppress them. Instead, she observes them with detachment, acknowledging their presence without letting them take control. She replaces them with thoughts of possibility, gratitude, and strength, shifting her focus back to what she desires to create. This woman is deeply selective about the information and influences she consumes. She understands that what she feeds her mind shapes her perception, and ultimately her reality. Whether it is the media she watches, the books she reads, or the conversations she engages in, she chooses wisely. She surrounds herself with inspiration, wisdom, and positivity, knowing that these elements nourish her mind and keep it aligned with her purpose. She does not allow toxic or limiting beliefs to infiltrate her sacred space, for she knows the cost is too great. Her inner world is her sanctuary, and she treats it as such. She takes time to cultivate stillness and silence, creating space for reflection and connection with her inner self. Through practices like meditation, journaling, or simply moments of quiet, she ensures that her mind remains clear and focused. These moments are not indulgences but necessities, allowing her to reset, recharge, and realign with her intentions. By guarding her mind, she creates an environment where creativity, intuition, and clarity can flourish. She is also conscious of the power of her words and how they reflect the state of her mind. She speaks with intention, understanding that her words are extensions of her thoughts and carry the energy she wishes to manifest. She avoids speaking in self-defeating or limiting ways, choosing instead to affirm her strength, capability, and worth. Her language reinforces the sacredness of her mental space, keeping her focused on what is possible rather than what is lacking. This woman's ability to guard her mind extends to her interactions with others. She is mindful of the company she keeps, surrounding herself with those who respect her boundaries and uplift her spirit. She does not entertain relationships that drain her energy or fill her mind with doubt. While she is compassionate and understanding, she does not allow others to project their fears or insecurities onto her. She knows that protecting her mind is not about shutting people out, but about discerning what aligns with her truth and what does not. Her guarded mind is not a fortress of rigidity, but a sanctuary of intentionality. She remains open to growth, learning, and new perspectives, but she filters them through the lens of her values and vision. She is not swayed by every passing trend or opinion, but remains anchored in her own inner guidance. This balance allows her to remain adaptable without compromising her integrity. The results of her guarded mind are evident in her life. She exudes a sense of calm, focus, and strength that others cannot help but notice. Her clarity of thought translates into decisive actions, and her unwavering belief in herself propels her toward her goals. She faces challenges with resilience, knowing that her mind is her greatest asset and her strongest ally. No matter what life throws at her, she trusts in her ability to navigate it with wisdom and grace. This woman teaches us the importance of treating our minds as sacred spaces. She reminds us that what we allow into our consciousness shapes not only how we see the world, but also what we create within it. By guarding her mind, she creates a life of purpose, peace, and fulfillment, showing us all that the key to transformation begins within. A woman who radiates grace and strength is a presence that commands attention without demanding it. Her power lies not in what she says or does, but in who she is. Her essence speaks louder than words. She moves through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that her strength is not something she needs to assert aggressively, but something she embodies effortlessly. Grace and strength are her natural states, and they shine through her every action, decision, and interaction. Her grace is rooted in her ability to remain composed in all circumstances. She does not allow the chaos of the world to disturb her inner peace. Whether faced with adversity, success, or uncertainty, she carries herself with dignity, choosing to respond rather than react. Her calm demeanor inspires trust and respect, as others sense her unshakable inner stability. This is not a facade, but the result of her deep self-awareness and understanding of the transient nature of external circumstances. Her strength, however, is not loud or forceful. It is quiet, but undeniable. She possesses an inner fortitude that allows her to persevere through life's challenges. This strength is born from her ability to embrace her vulnerabilities, rather than hide from them. She understands that true strength comes from acknowledging her fears, doubts, and pain, and then rising above them. This acceptance of her humanity makes her resilient, for she knows that every setback is an opportunity for growth. She carries herself with grace not to impress others, but because it aligns with her values. She is kind, compassionate, and considerate, yet these qualities do not make her weak. On the contrary, they reveal the depth of her strength. It takes courage to remain kind in a world that can be harsh, and it takes fortitude to maintain compassion when faced with cruelty or indifference. Her grace is not about perfection, but about being genuine and intentional in her actions. Her strength is reflected in her ability to set boundaries and stand firm in her convictions. She does not bend to please others or compromise her integrity for approval. While she is empathetic and understanding, she is not afraid to say no when necessary. This balance between grace and strength ensures that she is not taken advantage of, and it allows her to protect her energy and focus on what truly matters. She does not seek to control others, but instead exercises control over herself, her emotions, reactions, and choices. Her grace extends to the way she treats herself. She does not berate herself for her mistakes or shortcomings, but approaches herself with kindness and forgiveness. She understands that self-compassion is not indulgence but necessity, for it is the foundation of her strength. By nurturing her well-being, she ensures that she can show up fully in her relationships, work, and life's pursuits. Her ability to be gentle with herself sets an example for others, showing them the power of self-love and acceptance. In her relationships, she radiates grace and strength through her ability to communicate with clarity and empathy. She listens deeply, speaks thoughtfully, and seeks understanding rather than dominance. She does not engage in unnecessary conflicts or dramas, choosing instead to prioritize harmony and mutual respect. Yet, she does not avoid confrontation when it is necessary to uphold her principles or advocate for what is right. Her strength lies in her ability to navigate challenges with integrity and wisdom. This woman's grace and strength are also evident in her presence. She does not need to seek validation or approval, for she is secure in her worth. This self-assurance makes her magnetic, as others are drawn to her calm confidence and authenticity. She does not try to be someone she is not, and this genuineness inspires those around her to embrace their own uniqueness. Her presence alone is a reminder of what is possible when one lives with alignment and intention. Her grace and strength are not qualities she was necessarily born with, but ones she has cultivated over time. She has faced trials that tested her resolve and experienced moments that required her to rise above her fears. Through it all, she chose to learn, grow, and evolve. Her grace is the result of her ability to find beauty in life's imperfections, and her strength is the outcome of her refusal to give up, no matter the odds. This woman reminds us all that grace and strength are not mutually exclusive. They complement each other, creating a harmony that is both powerful and inspiring. She teaches us that true strength does not need to dominate but can coexist with gentleness, and that true grace is not about being flawless but about being authentic. In her we see the embodiment of a balanced and empowered life, one that radiates beauty, resilience, and purpose. In this journey of understanding the essence of a chosen woman, we see that her power lies in her ability to walk with purpose, strength, and authenticity. She knows that her worth comes not from external validation, but from her alignment with her inner truth. She lives intentionally, commanding her reality rather than pleading for it, guarding her mind as a sacred space, and embodying grace and strength in every facet of her being. She understands the profound truth that her world is shaped by her thoughts, her actions, and her unwavering belief in herself. This woman does not merely exist, she thrives, radiating an energy that inspires those around her. She is a testament to what is possible when one chooses to live deliberately, refusing to settle for anything less than the life she envisions. Her story is a reminder to us all that we hold the power to create, to rise, and to embody the extraordinary. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of the chosen woman's qualities. May her journey inspire you to step into your own power, live with intention, and shine with the brilliance that only you can bring to this world. When you stop texting and calling a man, something remarkable begins to unfold, not in him first, but in you. You withdraw from the endless pursuit, ceasing to scatter your energy outward. This withdrawal is not an act of punishment, it is a return to your power, to the silent center where your true value resides. You see, when you are constantly reaching out, seeking acknowledgement, you dilute your own presence. You become familiar, predictable, and easily dismissed. But when you stop, a void is created, a void that demands to be filled. And nature abhors a vacuum. Suddenly the man who took your calls and messages for granted begins to feel the weight of your absence. He notices the silence, not as an emptiness, but as a presence that speaks louder than any words could. The law of withdrawal is a principle that can dramatically change the course of your life. It is about reclaiming your energy and withdrawing from situations, relationships, or behaviors that drain you, all without any force or resentment. When you pull back, you create a space in which the energy you previously gave to others, or to the world outside of you, is returned to yourself. This energy is then able to flow within, giving you the power to transform your life from the inside out. Withdrawal is not a withdrawal of love, but a conscious decision to stop seeking external validation and to start cultivating self-empowerment. When you're constantly giving, chasing, or reaching out to others for affirmation, approval, or affection, you are spreading your energy thin. This creates a dynamic where your worth becomes dependent on others and their responses, leaving you with little control over your own life. The law of withdrawal, however, calls you to turn inward, to cease the external search for fulfillment, and to recognize that the love and approval you seek is already within you. The first powerful shift that happens when you practice the law of withdrawal is that you reclaim your power. Too often we give our power away without realizing it, hoping that our actions will cause someone to value us, love us, or recognize our worth. This is common in romantic relationships, but it also happens in friendships, work environments, and other personal interactions. When we stop texting, calling, or chasing after someone to get their attention, we take back control of our energy and our actions. In doing so, we become the one in command of the situation, not from a place of manipulation, but from a place of understanding that you have the choice to direct your attention and energy where you see fit. By pulling back, you also tap into the mystery that naturally exists in any meaningful relationship. When you are always accessible, always responding, always there to be relied upon, you lose your intrigue. There is nothing left to be discovered. But when you create space, when you stop texting and calling, you allow mystery to enter the equation. This is a universal law: mystery attracts attention. When someone does not know what you are doing or why you are silent, their curiosity is piqued. They begin to wonder what has changed. And this wonder is what draws them back into your orbit. Not because you are playing games or trying to manipulate, but because you are honoring your own needs and energy, which becomes a powerful force that others cannot easily ignore. The law of withdrawal teaches us the value of absence. Absence doesn't just mean physical distance, it means emotional and energetic space. When you stop constantly reaching out, you allow for the other person to miss you, to feel the void you've left behind. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's an old saying, but it is rooted in a profound truth: people do not appreciate what they have until it is no longer there. The withdrawal you initiate may create a longing in the other person, not because you have done anything extraordinary, but simply because you have taken the step to honor yourself by stepping back. When you no longer chase, the pursuit is now in their hands. They begin to recognize that you are not someone who is easily available at all times. You are a person who deserves to be valued, respected, and pursued. But the power of withdrawal doesn't lie solely in its effect on others, it's even more profound in the way it impacts you. Withdrawal allows you to reconnect with yourself, to rediscover who you truly are without the distraction of constant interaction and external influences. When you stop seeking outward validation, you begin the journey inward. And this is where true self-discovery begins. you start to focus on your own thoughts, desires, and emotions. You learn to listen to your inner voice, and through this practice you begin to realize that your worth is not something to be given to you by others, it is inherent in who you are. Furthermore, the law of withdrawal cultivates peace and inner fulfillment. Too often we fill the silence with distractions, whether it's through constant communication, social media, or external noise. But in the stillness of withdrawal, there is peace. When you stop texting, calling, or constantly engaging with the world, you can hear your own thoughts more clearly. You can hear your needs, your desires, and your inner wisdom. This practice fosters a deep sense of self-love and self-respect because you are no longer chasing external approval. Instead, you learn to approve of yourself, to nurture your own soul, and to trust that everything you need is already within you. There is also a transformative aspect to the law of withdrawal in how it strengthens your ability to trust in the unseen. Many times, when we stop pursuing someone or something, we fear that the situation will fall apart, or that we will lose something important. But withdrawal is an act of faith. It is a recognition that there are unseen forces, be they divine, energetic, or simply the natural flow of life, that are working to bring about the right circumstances for us. When you withdraw, you are saying that you trust that the universe will align things in your favor, even if you do not understand how or why. It is the trust that by letting go, you are opening the door for something better to come into your life. The universe works in mysterious ways, and when you step back, you give space for the best possible outcome to unfold. The law of withdrawal is a powerful tool for anyone seeking to reclaim their life, their energy, and their sense of self-worth. It is not about withdrawing in fear, but rather in strength. When you stop chasing, when you stop texting and calling, you create space for the world to come to you. And when that happens, you will realize that you never had to chase at all. Your true worth, your true power, was always within you, waiting for you to recognize it. The power of mystery is an ancient and profound force that plays a central role in both human attraction and personal transformation. Mystery isn't about deception or playing games. It is about creating space for curiosity to thrive, for discovery to unfold, and for others to find something valuable in what remains unseen. When you embody mystery, you create an aura of allure, an intrigue that cannot be replicated by constant exposure or predictability. It is through the art of mystery that we can draw others to us, find deeper connections, and create the conditions for our own personal growth and self-realization. At the core of the power of mystery is the understanding that not everything should be revealed immediately. In our modern world, where access to information is instant and constant, we often feel the pressure to share every detail of our lives, to make ourselves completely transparent. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the power that mystery provides. We give too much of ourselves away too soon, and in that act of overexposure, we lose the opportunity for others to truly value what we offer. The magic of mystery lies in what is hidden, what is waiting to be discovered. It is the sense that there is more beneath the surface, that there is a deeper layer yet to be uncovered. This is what makes something or someone captivating. It is the unknown that calls out to be explored, the curiosity that urges us to keep seeking. When you practice the power of mystery, you stop oversharing and instead allow others the chance to get to know you over time. It's about leaving something for the imagination, something that cannot be easily explained away or fully grasped in one encounter. Whether it's in relationships, professional settings, or even in personal development, the more you withhold, the more others will want to engage with you. This doesn't mean you should hide your true self, but rather that you reveal yourself piece by piece, offering glimpses rather than full exposure. By doing so, you invite others to step closer, to peel back the layers of your being, and to uncover what makes you unique. The allure of mystery is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. When something or someone holds an element of mystery, it draws people in. This is especially true in relationships. When we stop revealing every thought, every action, and every feeling, we create an energy that compels others to inquire, to ask questions, and to engage with us on a deeper level. It sparks curiosity and creates a sense of anticipation. When people cannot immediately decipher you, they are left wondering about your thoughts, your intentions, your desires. They begin to feel that there is something more to you, something they have yet to fully experience or understand. This is what creates attraction, the desire to know more, to understand the puzzle that you present. This same concept applies to how we relate to ourselves. We are often our own biggest mystery, not because we are hiding anything, but because our inner worlds are vast and complex. The more we allow ourselves to be curious about our own potential, our desires and our feelings, the more we unlock hidden aspects of ourselves. Personal growth comes not from having all the answers, but from exploring the unknown parts of our psyche and allowing them to reveal themselves in their own time. When we embrace our own mystery, we stop limiting ourselves to what we already know and become open to the possibility of discovering new facets of who we are. The power of mystery also creates room for imagination. When we withhold, we allow others to project their thoughts and feelings onto us, and in doing so, we create a space where they can form their own connections to us. This can be an extremely powerful tool in relationships. Rather than presenting a complete picture, we allow others to experience us in fragments, and in the process they fill in the gaps with their own perceptions. This process can foster a sense of connection and understanding that might not otherwise exist if everything were immediately laid out in front of them. The beauty of this lies in the fact that each person's perception of us is uniquely shaped by their own experiences, their own thoughts, and their own desires. Mystery also plays a significant role in our ability to manifest our desires and shape our future. In many ways, life itself is a mystery, and the more we embrace the unknown, the more we allow life to unfold in unexpected and exciting ways. When we allow space for mystery, we stop trying to control every outcome and instead trust in the unseen forces that guide us. We learn to surrender to the process of life, knowing that there is a greater plan at work, even if we cannot always see it. By stepping into the unknown with faith, we allow ourselves to be open to new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences that we could never have predicted. This power of mystery also connects us to something larger than ourselves, whether we call it the universe, divine intelligence, or the collective consciousness. It is the understanding that there is much more to life than meets the eye, and that the mysteries of life are there to be embraced, not feared. The more we step into this mysterious flow, the more we are aligned with the natural rhythms of existence. We stop forcing outcomes and instead let life unfold in its own time, knowing that everything we need will be revealed when the time is right. The power of mystery is about creating a balance between revealing enough to spark interest and holding back enough to maintain intrigue. It is about understanding that there is more to you and to life than what is immediately visible. It is about inviting curiosity, allowing discovery, and trusting that the unknown holds beauty, potential, and a deeper connection. By embracing the mystery within yourself and in the world around you, you create a life that is ever evolving, full of wonder, and continuously unfolding into something more profound. Self-worth is silent, not in the sense of passivity or being unheard, but rather in the quiet strength that emanates when you truly know your value without needing to announce it to the world. True self-worth doesn't demand attention or validation from others. It is a deep inner knowing that transcends external circumstances, judgments, or comparisons. It is an energy that silently radiates from within, regardless of whether anyone acknowledges it. This kind of self-worth is not dependent on approval or admiration, and it doesn't require external recognition. Instead, it stands firm in the knowledge that you are enough, simply by being who you are. In a world that often places so much emphasis on outward appearances, achievements, and the opinions of others, it can be easy to forget the silent power of self-worth. We often find ourselves chasing validation, trying to prove our worthiness through accomplishments, social media likes, or even the opinions of people we don't know. But this outward pursuit is draining and ultimately hollow. It's a cycle that never truly satisfies the inner longing for validation, because it is built on external sources that are fleeting, changing, and often unreliable. Self-worth, on the other hand, does not depend on any of these things. It is a quiet, unwavering belief that we are valuable, regardless of what anyone else says or does. When you have true self-worth, you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to others. There is no need for justification, no need to defend your actions, your decisions, or your worth. You are comfortable in your own skin, with your own choices, because you have come to a place of inner understanding that you are enough. This silence is not born of insecurity, but of strength. It is the power of knowing that your value is inherent and not subject to the whims of anyone else's perception. When you stop seeking validation from others, you start to tap into an authentic power that needs no external reinforcement. Your self-worth becomes a solid foundation on which you can build the life you truly desire. This quiet sense of worth also allows you to set boundaries that are rooted in self-respect, not fear or self-doubt. When you understand your value, you recognize that you deserve respect, love, and kindness. You no longer tolerate disrespect or mistreatment, because you know that you are worthy of better. There is no need for loud proclamations or dramatic gestures when you have established this silent understanding of yourself. Your actions speak volumes. Your presence commands respect, not because you demand it from others, but because you have cultivated a sense of self-respect so strong that others cannot help but acknowledge it. Self-worth also allows for a sense of peace and contentment that comes from within. In a world that constantly pushes us to strive for more success, more possessions, more recognition, it is easy to get caught in the never-ending chase. But when you know your worth, you can step off this treadmill of external achievement and find peace in simply being. You recognize that you are not what you have, what you do, or what others think of you. You are not defined by your job title, your bank balance, or the number of followers you have. Your worth is not something that can be measured by these external markers. It is something intrinsic, something that can't be taken away. This peace that comes with self-worth doesn't mean that you are complacent or stop striving for your goals. On the contrary, when you know your value, you are more likely to pursue your passions with focus and clarity. You no longer do things out of desperation or a need for approval, but out of a desire to fulfill your own potential and to express the gifts you've been given. You become less concerned with competition, comparison, and the opinions of others. Your journey is your own, and the only person you need to impress is yourself. You learn to celebrate your achievements, no matter how big or small, because you know that they are a reflection of your growth, not of anyone's validation. Another important aspect of silent self-worth is how it affects the way you relate to others. When you know your worth, you attract people who recognize and honor it. You no longer settle for relationships or situations that drain your energy or undermine your sense of self. The right people will be drawn to your quiet confidence, your ability to stand firm in your own truth, and your genuine respect for others. You create an environment where mutual respect, love, and understanding can thrive. You are no longer seeking approval or validation from others, which means you are free to engage in relationships based on authenticity, rather than neediness or insecurity. This shift allows you to form deeper, more meaningful connections, where you are loved and valued for who you truly are. The silence of self-worth is also transformative when it comes to failure or setbacks. Many people tie their sense of value to their success or accomplishments, believing that they are only worthy if they are winning, achieving, or meeting societal standards. But when your self-worth is silent, it is not shaken by failure. You understand that failure is a part of the journey, a lesson to be learned, not a reflection of your inherent worth. You no longer tie your sense of self to external outcomes. Instead, you take each experience, good or bad, as an opportunity to grow without questioning your value as a person. The power of self-worth lies in its quiet resilience. It is a strength that cannot be easily rattled or taken away. It does not require external validation or loud declarations. It is a steady knowing, a calm confidence that comes from within, and it is the foundation upon which you can build a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. When you truly understand your worth, you no longer need to prove it to anyone. You simply embody it in every action, every thought, and every word. And in doing so, you create a life that reflects the quiet, powerful truth of who you truly are. Reclaiming the throne is a metaphorical journey of rediscovering and asserting one's inherent power, authority, and right to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. It is the process of taking back what is rightfully yours, your sense of self, your confidence, and your sovereignty over your own life. Life may have challenged you, and external circumstances may have led you to doubt your worth or potential. But reclaiming the throne is about overcoming those struggles and stepping back into your true power. It is about remembering who you are, asserting your place in the world, and refusing to allow external forces to dictate your path. At some point in our lives, we may all find ourselves feeling like we've lost our seat of power. Whether it's through relationships that have drained us, failures that have humbled us, or negative circumstances that have shaped our beliefs, we may begin to doubt our abilities or lose touch with our inner strength. But the throne is always there, waiting to be reclaimed. It never truly left, it was simply abandoned for a time. Reclaiming it is not about seeking external validation or approval, but about turning inward and rediscovering the untapped potential that lies within. Reclaiming the throne starts with acknowledging your own worth. You must first recognize that you are worthy of the life you desire, the love you deserve, and the success you seek. And so often people allow external opinions, past failures, or societal expectations to convince them that they are not enough. They shrink in the presence of others, doubt their abilities, and relinquish their dreams because they believe they are unworthy. But this belief is a lie. You are not defined by the setbacks or struggles you faced. Your worth is inherent and immutable. To reclaim the throne, you must step out of the shadow of self-doubt and into the light of self-empowerment. This requires shedding the limiting beliefs that have held you back and embracing the truth that you have always been capable of greatness. The act of reclaiming the throne is also about setting boundaries and refusing to tolerate anything less than what you deserve. For many, this is one of the most difficult steps in the journey. We often allow others to overstep our boundaries, whether it's in relationships, work, or even with our own inner dialogue. We let the demands of others dictate how we spend our time, energy, and resources. We neglect ourselves in favor of pleasing others or seeking their approval. But when you reclaim your throne, you stop giving your power away. You begin to set clear boundaries and communicate your needs and desires with confidence. You no longer allow others to dictate your worth or decide how much space you should occupy in the world. Your throne is yours to claim, and you will not let anyone take it from you. The throne is also about embracing your uniqueness. You are not here to be a copy of someone else or to conform to society's standards of success or happiness. The throne you are meant to sit on is uniquely yours, and it requires you to step fully into your authentic self. This means releasing the need to compare yourself to others, to chase after what everyone else is doing, or to seek approval from the outside world. When you reclaim your throne, you do so on your own terms, embracing your individuality and recognizing that your path is one that only you can walk. This is the essence of true sovereignty, to be in complete alignment with who you are, not who others expect you to be. Another key element of reclaiming the throne is forgiving yourself and letting go of past regrets. Many people struggle with the weight of past mistakes, failures, or missed opportunities. These experiences can create a heavy burden, making it feel as though you are unworthy or incapable of achieving your goals. However, no one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes along the way. The process of reclaiming your throne involves forgiving yourself for your past missteps and understanding that they do not define you. They are simply lessons on the journey. By releasing the grip of past regret, you free yourself to step into your true power and move forward with renewed purpose and clarity. The throne is also an act of trust in yourself and trust in the universe. There will always be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But when you trust yourself, you trust that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. You trust that your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your resilience will guide you through life's obstacles. You also trust that the universe has a plan for you, and that everything you have experienced, both the good and the bad, has led you to this moment of reclamation. Trust is the fuel that drives the journey forward, propelling you to move past fear and uncertainty and to claim what is yours with confidence. Reclaiming the throne is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. Life will continue to present challenges, and the pull of external influences may always try to convince you to relinquish your power. But each time you assert your boundaries, remember your worth, and embrace your unique path, you strengthen your position on the throne. You become more resolute in your self-belief, more confident in your decisions, and more steadfast in your vision for your life. The throne is not something that can be taken away from you once you reclaim it. It is yours to sit upon for as long as you choose. Reclaiming the throne is about stepping into your full potential and living a life that reflects your true worth. It is about letting go of the limitations that have held you back and embracing the power that has always been within you. When you take your rightful place, you begin to create a life that is in alignment with your deepest desires, a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and empowered. The throne is yours for the taking. Reclaim it and begin to live the life you were always meant to lead. Energy flows where attention goes. This simple but profound concept reveals the deep connection between our focus and the results we experience in life. The energy that we put into something, whether it's a thought, a task, or a goal, is the energy that grows. Our attention, the spotlight of our awareness, directs where our energy will flow, and therefore it determines what we manifest in our lives. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are constantly creating through the energy we direct with our thoughts, feelings, and actions. When we place our attention on something, we are essentially feeding it with our energy. This energy can take many forms, including our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. For example, when we focus on negative thoughts or worries, we are pouring our energy into those concerns, and as a result, we attract more of what we fear or dread. On the other hand, when we focus on positive thoughts, gratitude, and optimism, we are directing our energy into these more constructive aspects, which naturally leads to more positive experiences. This is not just an abstract idea, it's a fundamental law of how the universe operates. Like a magnet, our attention draws similar energies toward us, and as a result, our reality reflects what we focus on most. In life, we often get distracted by external circumstances or negative thoughts that pull our attention away from what we truly desire. These distractions can feel overwhelming, and it can seem like we have no control over where our energy goes. But the truth is, we always have the power to choose where to direct our attention. It's easy to focus on problems, challenges, or what is not working. But by doing so, we only strengthen those things in our lives. Instead, we can choose to shift our focus to solutions, possibilities, and the positive aspects of our situation, thereby allowing the energy to flow toward growth and improvement. The practice of mindfulness is one way to bring awareness to where our attention goes. By consciously paying attention to our thoughts and feelings, we can catch ourselves when we begin to focus on the negative or unproductive. Mindfulness allows us to redirect our attention and energy, empowering us to make more intentional choices. It's a practice that encourages us to step back from the chaos of life and observe the patterns in our thoughts. In doing so, we become more aware of how much energy we waste on things that don't serve us, and we can consciously choose to invest that energy in pursuits that align with our highest good. Our relationships are another area where the principle of energy flows, where attention goes holds significant meaning. If we direct our attention toward understanding, appreciation, and connection with others, the energy in those relationships grows, and so does the bond between us. However, if our attention is consumed with judgment, resentment, or criticism, those relationships tend to deteriorate. In any interaction, our energy is influenced by where we place our attention. When we choose to listen attentively, show empathy, and invest in positive communication, the relationship becomes stronger and more fulfilling. On the other hand, when we focus on flaws, disagreements, or negative aspects, the energy in the relationship becomes heavy and strained. The same principle applies to our goals and ambitions. What we focus on expands. If we focus on our goals with clarity and intention, we naturally begin to take actions that align with them. The energy we invest in our dreams, whether it's through planning, visualization, or consistent effort, multiplies, propelling us closer to what we want to achieve. On the other hand, if we spend our time doubting ourselves, worrying about potential failure, or focusing on obstacles, our energy is drained, and the progress toward our goals slows or halts altogether. In order to manifest what we desire, we must direct our attention to the end result, to the feelings and thoughts that support our vision, and to the small steps that will take us closer to our dreams. In the context of self-care, this idea also plays a pivotal role. Many people neglect their own well-being because they are distracted by the demands of life or the needs of others. Their attention is constantly going outward, leaving little energy for themselves. However, when we direct our attention inward and prioritize self-care, whether it's through rest, reflection, healthy habits, or pursuing passions that bring us joy, we direct energy toward nurturing ourselves. This creates a cycle of replenishment, where the more energy we give to ourselves, the more we have to give to others and to our goals. By shifting our focus inward, we recharge our physical, emotional, and mental health, which in turn enhances every other area of our life. Our environment also responds to where we direct our energy. Whether it's the physical spaces we inhabit or the people we surround ourselves with, the energy of our surroundings reflects the energy we put into them. When we place our attention on creating a peaceful, organized, and uplifting space, the environment around us shifts and we experience a greater sense of harmony. If we neglect the energy in our environment, whether it's through clutter, disorganization, or toxic relationships, we begin to feel drained, stressed, or stagnant. The principle is clear: energy flows where attention goes, and our surroundings are no different. In times of adversity or challenge, it becomes even more crucial to be mindful of where we place our attention. It's easy to get lost in the struggle, to feel overwhelmed by difficulties, but by consciously shifting our attention to solutions, gratitude, and opportunities, we change the flow of energy. This shift doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means consciously choosing to focus on what you can control, what you can learn from the situation, and how you can grow through the challenge. When we focus on the opportunities within adversity, we begin to notice them and start to take empowered action. Energy truly flows where attention goes. The universe responds to our focus, amplifying whatever we give our energy to. By being mindful of where we place our attention, we can consciously create a reality that reflects our desires, dreams, and highest potential. Whether it's in our relationships, careers, or personal growth, we have the power to choose where to direct our energy, and in doing so, we shape the world around us. The key is awareness, intentionality, and understanding the profound impact of where we place our focus. When we choose to direct our attention toward positive, empowering thoughts, goals, and actions, the energy flows in a way that serves our highest good. Absence makes the heart seek. This timeless expression holds a deep truth about human nature and relationships. It speaks to the powerful effect that distance and separation have on our emotions, desires, and connections. When we are separated from someone or something we care about, a void is created, one that stirs an intense longing within us. This absence often acts as a catalyst for introspection, personal growth, and even deeper appreciation for what is missing. The heart, in its pursuit of fulfillment, naturally seeks what is absent, drawing us toward the very things we may take for granted when they are within reach. At its core, the concept of absence making the heart seek is rooted in the emotional dynamics of longing and desire. When we are constantly surrounded by the people, experiences, or things that we value, we can become complacent. We may not fully appreciate their presence until they are no longer around. It is only in the absence of someone or something that we realize how much it truly means to us. This absence creates an emotional void that triggers our hearts to seek what has been lost or what is missing, pushing us to recognize the value of what we had and to pursue it once more. This phenomenon is not just limited to romantic relationships, although it is often most apparent in such contexts. In any relationship, be it familial, friendship, or romantic, The presence of the other person provides a sense of comfort, security, and belonging. When that person is absent, whether due to physical distance, emotional separation, or any form of disconnection, the absence can feel overwhelming. The heart begins to seek that connection again, and this yearning can lead to personal reflection and growth. The absence makes us question why the relationship mattered, what it brought to our lives, and how we can better nurture those bonds when they are present again. It is in the absence of someone we love that we may also discover the depth of our own feelings. We might not recognize how deeply we care until the person is not there to share in the moments of daily life. The heart's longing can serve as a reminder of the emotional importance of that individual, and in turn it offers an opportunity for growth in how we express and cherish our emotions. Often the absence creates a space for us to reflect on how we want to show up in the relationship moving forward, and how we might be more present and appreciative when the other person returns. This principle also extends to the things we pursue in life. We may take certain experiences, achievements, or dreams for granted when they are easily accessible. However, once those opportunities are out of reach, whether by circumstance, limitation, or change, we begin to truly appreciate their value. The absence of these opportunities sparks the heart to seek again, to reach toward new possibilities and rediscover passions that may have been forgotten or overlooked. The heart longs for what it once had or for what it has yet to experience. It pushes us to pursue new ventures, to reignite old dreams, and to take action on what was once only a distant hope. Absence also brings clarity. It provides a contrast that allows us to see things more clearly. When we have too much of something, it can become routine or even burdensome. But when we experience a loss or a gap in our lives, we are forced to evaluate the role that particular person, experience, or thing played in our lives. What we thought we could live without suddenly becomes something we crave. This clarity is often accompanied by a sense of appreciation for the things we had taken for granted. We are reminded of how important it is to make the most of what is currently within our reach, and to treasure the relationships and experiences that bring us joy. There is also an aspect of self-discovery that comes with the absence of something or someone important. The longing that emerges in such moments often reveals unmet needs, desires, and personal aspirations. It is in the absence that we may confront parts of ourselves that we were not fully aware of before. The heart's search is not just for the other person or the external circumstances, but also for deeper fulfillment within ourselves. In some cases, the absence of a person or situation may illuminate what we truly need in order to grow, heal, or evolve. It acts as a mirror, reflecting what is lacking or what has been hidden beneath the surface. But absence can also foster a sense of appreciation for the present moment. When we are no longer able to be with someone or engage in a particular experience, we may realize how precious those moments were. The heart's desire to seek what is absent often brings a deeper understanding of the fleeting nature of time and the importance of embracing the present. It teaches us to cherish what we have, to be present in the moment, and to express gratitude for the people and experiences that shape our lives. The heart's longing in absence can also be a source of inspiration and motivation. Often it sparks a drive to reconnect, to rebuild, or to pursue new opportunities. The yearning for something lost or unattainable drives us to act, to seek fulfillment, and to move forward. It is the fuel for change, pushing us to take steps we might have hesitated to take before. Absence, in its way, acts as a catalyst for transformation, prompting us to search for new paths, rekindle old connections, or rediscover forgotten passions. Absence is not always a negative force. While it may bring pain, longing, and heartache, it also brings growth, clarity, and understanding. It encourages the heart to seek what is lost, to appreciate what is truly valuable, and to discover new aspects of ourselves. It invites us to reflect on what we truly desire, to understand our own needs, and to pursue deeper connections with both ourselves and others. Absence, in its silent power, is a reminder that love, longing, and desire are forces that guide us toward greater self-awareness, connection, and fulfillment. The heart's search, fueled by absence, leads us to the realization that what we seek is often the key to unlocking our truest potential. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to get swept away by external distractions, work, relationships, social expectations, and the constant demands of technology. Our attention often shifts outward, causing us to neglect the one thing that can profoundly shape our reality, our inner world. Yet our external circumstances are merely reflections of our internal state. What we experience in the physical world is directly influenced by the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that reside within us. To truly transform our lives, we must first learn to focus on our inner world. The inner world is the realm of our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and perceptions. It is where we hold our true essence and the source of all our experiences. Everything we encounter in life is filtered through the lens of our inner world. Our reactions to events, people, and situations are all shaped by how we internally interpret the world around us. If we want to create lasting change, we must start by looking within, becoming aware of the thoughts that dominate our minds, and questioning the beliefs that dictate our actions. At the heart of focusing on your inner world is the idea of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to observe and understand your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. It involves stepping back and looking at yourself from a place of neutrality, as if you were an outsider. This practice allows you to notice patterns in your thinking, emotions, and actions, and gives you the power to choose how to respond to life's challenges rather than reacting impulsively. By cultivating self-awareness, you can break free from automatic behaviors and start making conscious choices that align with your true desires and goals. Another essential aspect of focusing on your inner world is the power of self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves shapes our self-esteem, confidence, and sense of worth. If our inner dialogue is filled with negativity, self-doubt, or criticism, we begin to believe these thoughts as truths. Our inner narrative directly impacts how we perceive ourselves and how we show up in the world. Conversely, when we replace negative self-talk with affirmations of self-love, gratitude, and encouragement, we begin to reprogram our subconscious mind. Positive self-talk fosters a sense of empowerment, resilience, and trust in our abilities, which is essential for navigating life's challenges with grace and determination. Focusing on your inner world also means cultivating a healthy relationship with your emotions. Emotions are powerful indicators of where we are in life and what we are experiencing. However, many of us have been taught to suppress or ignore our feelings in favor of maintaining control or pleasing others. In doing so, we deny ourselves the opportunity to fully process and understand our emotions. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, is a key skill for living a balanced life. When we focus on our inner world, we give ourselves permission to feel all emotions, both positive and negative, without judgment. This creates a deeper sense of emotional freedom, allowing us to release pent-up feelings and heal from past wounds. Taking responsibility for your inner world is also a crucial step in the process. Often we tend to blame external circumstances for our unhappiness or dissatisfaction. We may believe that if only the world would change, or if others would behave differently, we would be happy. However, true empowerment comes from recognizing that we have the power to change our inner world, regardless of what is happening around us. By taking ownership of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we reclaim our power and begin to shape the life we desire from the inside out. There is a profound power that exists beyond the limits of our understanding, a force that governs the ebb and flow of our lives, orchestrating circumstances, people, and events in ways that often seem beyond our control. This force is the universe. Many of us try to shape and manipulate our lives, exerting control over every detail, thinking that we must do everything ourselves in order to manifest our desires. But the truth is, when we learn to let the universe work, we open ourselves to the flow of life's magic and abundance. We allow the natural rhythm of existence to guide us toward the experiences, opportunities, and outcomes that are truly meant for us. The idea of letting the universe work is rooted in the belief that there is a higher intelligence at play, one that is always conspiring in our favor, even if we don't always see the immediate results. We live in a world of infinite possibility, where the universe has an uncanny way of bringing the right circumstances to us when we are in alignment with our desires and intentions. The key is to trust the process, to have faith that things will unfold in their own time, and to stop trying to force outcomes that may not be in our highest good. One of the first steps in allowing the universe to work is to let go of the need for control. We are often conditioned to believe that success, happiness, and fulfillment come from exerting control over every aspect of our lives. We believe that we must plan every move, direct every action, and manage every outcome. While action and intention are important, constantly trying to micromanage the details of our lives can create unnecessary stress and block the flow of energy. When we release the need to control, we open ourselves to receiving in ways that we may not have expected. Letting go of control also means surrendering to uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. We may face setbacks, challenges, or detours on our journey. However, these are often not signs of failure, but rather part of the universe's process of guiding us to the right path. When we let go of the need to predict every outcome, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration of trying to force things to happen. Instead, we allow space for serendipity, unexpected opportunities, and synchronicities to enter our lives. By embracing uncertainty, we trust that the universe will lead us where we need to go. Another crucial aspect of letting the universe work is practicing patience. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, it can be challenging to trust that things are unfolding in their own time. We live in an era where everything is available at the touch of a button, but not everything in life works this way. Some desires take time to manifest. Whether it's a career change, a relationship, or personal growth, things often need to align and evolve at their own pace. When we learn to be patient and trust in divine timing, we allow the universe to work behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways we cannot always see or understand. Patience is not about passively waiting for things to happen. It's about remaining in a state of trust and openness while continuing to take inspired action. The universe may be working on our behalf, but we still have a role to play in the process. We must align ourselves with the frequency of our desires, and this requires effort. This could mean taking steps towards our goals, shifting our mindset, or simply being open to receiving what is coming our way. But we do so with the understanding that, in the grand scheme of things, the universe is orchestrating the details in ways that are far beyond our limited vision. Another key to allowing the universe to work is to release attachment to the outcome. Often we become fixated on a specific outcome or timeline, believing that if we don't achieve our goals in a particular way or at a particular time, we have failed. However, when we attach too strongly to a specific result, we may inadvertently block the flow of energy that could bring us something even better. The universe works in mysterious ways, and what we think we want may not always be what is best for us. By releasing attachment to the outcome, we create space for the universe to deliver what we truly need, which may be different from what we initially envisioned. This is where the power of faith comes in. Faith is not about blind belief in something without evidence, but rather a deep trust in the process of life itself. It's knowing that, even when things seem unclear or uncertain, everything is happening for a reason. It's trusting that the universe has a plan for us, even when we cannot see the full picture. Faith allows us to remain hopeful and open, even when faced with challenges. It empowers us to continue moving forward, knowing that the right opportunities, people, and circumstances will present themselves at the right time. The universe responds to our energy, and the more we align ourselves with the energy of trust, gratitude, and abundance, the more the universe will bring us what we desire. Gratitude is a powerful tool for attracting more of what we want. When we appreciate what we already have, we signal to the universe that we are open to receiving even more. This shift in mindset transforms our energy, making us magnetic to the very things we seek. Gratitude helps us focus on the present moment, allowing us to see the blessings that are already present in our lives. In doing so, we create space for more of these blessings to flow into our experience. The idea of letting the universe work also involves staying in alignment with our authentic selves. Often we get caught up in societal expectations, other people's opinions, or the pursuit of superficial goals. But when we focus on what truly resonates with our soul, we align ourselves with the universe's greater plan for our lives. When we are true to ourselves, we attract experiences and people that are in harmony with our values, desires, and purpose. The universe works best when we are in alignment with our deepest truth, and this requires listening to our inner guidance and intuition. Letting the universe work is about trusting in the law of attraction, like attracts like. When we align ourselves with the energy of abundance, love, and joy, we attract more of the same into our lives. The universe responds to our vibration, and by maintaining a positive, optimistic outlook, we invite greater prosperity, happiness, and fulfillment into our reality. Letting the universe work is about surrendering to the flow of life, trusting in divine timing, and allowing the natural forces of the universe to guide us toward what we desire. It's about releasing the need for control, practicing patience, and maintaining faith that everything is unfolding as it should. When we let go and trust, we make space for the universe to bring us the perfect outcomes, in the perfect timing, and in ways that exceed our expectations. Through this trust, we tap into the infinite power of the universe, creating the life we were always meant to live. In conclusion, the key to transforming our lives and manifesting our desires lies in learning to trust the process and letting the universe work. By surrendering control, embracing patience, and releasing attachment to specific outcomes, we create space for divine timing and unseen forces to guide us toward the perfect circumstances. Faith in the universe's plan, combined with alignment to our true selves, opens the door to infinite possibilities, allowing us to attract the right experiences, people, and opportunities into our lives. The universe is always working on your behalf, and when you trust and allow it to unfold, you align yourself with the flow of life's abundant energy. So let go of the need to micromanage every detail, stay open to what's coming, and allow the universe to surprise you with its infinite wisdom. Thank you for listening. And may you embrace the power of letting the universe work in your life.